century, it's been the biggest annual sporting event in the world. It's seen in dozens of countries, broadcast in multiple languages, and media from all over the globe descend on one city to cover this lone event. It's the Super Bowl.
Robert Kraft, along with Belichick and Tom Brady, have their 27th playoff win and their 8th conference championship together. They're bound for Super Bowl 52 in Minneapolis.
For the first time in 13 years, the Eagles are heading for the Super Bowl at a rematch with the New England Patriots in Super Bowl 52.
This year, it's in Minneapolis, and Mad Dog Unleashed is all over it. We're broadcasting all week from Radio Row to get you set for Super Bowl 52 between the Eagles and Patriots. Here's your host of Mad Dog Unleashed, Christopher Russo.
All right, as we begin hour 2 of our radio program, it's nice to have you as we talked about the world of sports on a busy afternoon. Now, I don't know if the pronunciation, I get a little confused. Do you want me to call you Terrell or Terrell?
It's Terrell.
Terrell Owens.
My mom would be highly upset with you if you...
Okay. There used to be called, everybody in the NFL, it was Terrell, but I want to call you Terrell.
Because they're idiots. They don't know how to...
Well, that's why I asked. I want to be nice to you, get off to a good start.
And I appreciate that.
That's important. So Terrell Owens, of course, who, if he's not in the Hall of Fame this year, Ira Kaufman and the fellas need their heads examined. This is a Hall of Fame wide receiver. If I ever saw one, I'll get you off to a nice, rosy start. He is. I want to first talk about your game here. It was against New England. So I want to talk about your game here with all those catches with the broken foot after, 7 weeks, whatever it was?
Yeah, it was a severely sprained ankle, and I had a broken fibula. So I had the surgery, and the doctor had to insert 2 screws in a plate. And, again, it was an injury that they said basically was a 3 to 4 month recovery. And so, number one, I exercised my faith in God that I would be able to get back in record time, in time enough to play in the Super Bowl, which is, as you mentioned, 6.5, 7 weeks. And so I just basically just kind of approached it like I was getting ready to try for the combine or something. So my training staff, Rick Burkholder and that staff, it was a challenge for us. I was up for the challenge, and it was a lot of hard work to get back on that field.
Did you know that whole week you were going to play, or is it a game time decision?
No. I knew personally that I was going to play. Obviously, with the coaches, speaking with the training staff, he was kind of indecisive. He wasn't for sure. So he basically had to have a couple of extensive conversations with Rick as to my state and my health. And so he basically tried to assure him that I would be ready, even when I practiced for the first time, which was a Wednesday leading up to Super Bowl Sunday.
You had 3 practices in 7 weeks playing in the game.
Right, absolutely.
Did Reed know you were going to play in the game? He
yes.
felt confident.
I don't think he felt as confident, but again, it took a lot of persuasion from the training staff that I was ready. And I just told him, I was like, look, I know you're going to have this discussion because, again, you have to declare whether the guy's going to be inactive or active, leading up to the game on Sunday.
But you're going to play. Now, they had a pretty good secondary. They had Harrison. I don't think Ty Law was there anymore.
No.
Who was in that New England secondary?
I think Asante Samuel, and I think Gay. And
Randall Gay?
Randall Gay, I think.
And they had Harrison as a safety.
Right. So, honestly, it didn't really matter. I think, again, my focus was on really kind of what we did as a team, not more or less what they did. And we understood that they were a great defense on that side of the ball. But, again, if we played the caliber of football that we were accustomed to playing and, we played throughout the course of the year, then we knew we would give ourselves a chance.
What did you have, about 8 catches for 120 yards?
Nine for 122.
9 for 122. You were tremendous in the game. Now, I'm not going to have you pick on him. I'll say it. McNabb killed you in the game. I mean, he didn't play well, through a lot of interceptions. Did you feel, I don't know if you say anything about it after the game or not, did you feel that McNabb led the team down that day, losing that game in New England?
I didn't really think too much about it. Obviously, there was a lot of discussion about him being sick in the huddle late, and then obviously they discussed the time management toward late in the game.
Well, he's never good with time management, Reed, so that doesn't surprise anybody.
Right. So again, I had no knowledge of him being sick in the huddle until obviously a week or so later, and when I basically was answering a question that a reporter was asking me about him being sick in the huddle, he basically questioned me, and in that question he basically mentioned that Hank Fraley and Freddie Mitchell had mentioned that he had gotten sick, and I said, my response to that was, I didn't know anything about it. And I said, if anybody should have been, out of breath or out of shape or anything of that nature, it should have been me, because I hadn't practiced over a month.
Fraley was a lineman, and Freddie Mitchell was a receiver from UCLA.
Absolutely.
Who made a big catch against Green Bay in that same year, 4th and 26. Was it the same year? I think it was.
I think it may have been the year before I got that.
The year before you got there, made the big catch, that 4th and 26.
Fred X.
What was the play called? FedEx. He was called Freddie X.
He was called Fred X because he delivered.
He did deliver that. I see.
Fred X.
My head.
That's all good.
Did you walk off the field? Have any idea? Did you feel that you were playing a god in Brady and Belichick when that game was over? And would you ever think 10 years later, here we are again, the two of them playing in another Super Bowl? Even you probably didn't think that, right?
Not at all. I mean, I knew we were going to be playing a good team, and as I just alluded to, I knew if we played the explosive football that we played, and I think obviously if I was 100%, you take me not being injured in any capacity, then we're more explosive on the offensive side of the ball. So I was limited, but I played the best that I could, considering. So
so even though you had a great game, you were far from 100%.
Right, and I was bummed in a sense. And there were times during the course of the game where, I told Reed, and I wish I would have been a little bit more forthcoming. I'm like, yo, unleash me. And I think he did in certain regards. And there were times where we took shots that Donovan went the other way. I mean, I know particularly a play that was called, I can't remember what quarter it was in, but I was lined up to the right and Pinkston was to the left, and he called all goes double go, and we were one-on-ones with the DBs and the cornerbacks, and I had my guy by at least a step or so, and my team, when he dropped back, I could hear my teammates on the sidelines like, throw it, but he went opposite field to Pinkston. I think he overthrew it, and again, those plays right there, when you get
you have to make them.
When you get opportunities like that, you have to take advantage of it.
Do you want to say that Brady's the best quarterback of all time, though?
I'm kind of biased, being playing in San Francisco for a lot of years. I mean, he's
better than Steve Young.
But Joe Montana, he went to 6. It's unblemished. You go to 6 and you win 6.
No, he went to 4.
4. That's what I mean. I'm
Young
sorry.
went to the other one.
Right, exactly. But when you go, every time and you win, that's different. You know what I mean? It's just like when the Buffalo Bills, they go to 4 Super Bowls and they don't win.
Would you rather be 4-0 or 5-2?
4-0.
You get the extra one, though, if you get the 5. You get the extra championship. You lose 2, but you get the extra championship. Joe never lost one. He's 5-2. Joe's 4-0. It's a tough call.
Yeah, exactly.
Lose 2 to get the extra one. You want to do that?
Lose 2 to get the extra. I don't know. Good point. Good argument.
It's a tough argument.
But again, like I said, how many did Joe go to?
He went to 4.
Exactly. He didn't get enough. He didn't get the opportunity to go to.
He could have gone a few more. Maybe he got some better calls in a Redskin game that one year. He could have.
Exactly. So again, like I said, if he had those opportunities, then like I said, maybe if he go 4-1 or whatever, then now you say, okay, I'll give up 2 to get 1.
Yeah, maybe. Now you made the great catch with Young to win the Green Bay game. You had not done much in that game, if I'm not mistaken.
No, I was a star in the making.
Did you catch fly balls in that game, or just a touchdown pass to win it?
No, I had a few catches, and that
was a great play, great pass.
Yeah, he
had a very slim thing to get it to.
Trust me, it was more about the pass than it was the catch, because I don't know how Steve Young got that ball in that tight of a window, and it just showed you the professionalism and him really reading the defense and understanding where he had to throw that ball, given the fact that we had the greatest receiver of all time on the field at the same time in Jerry Rice.
And he went to you.
And he went to me.
Yeah.
So, again, that's one of those plays where you think about big plays in history, even basketball, where Jordan goes in and he passes the ball out to Steve Kerr and he makes the big shot. Or you go, just recently.
Let the other guy make the play.
Right. You see Kobe, against Game 7 against the Boston Celtics. He goes in, he passes the ball to Ron Artest, for a big shot.
Or Gasol, something like that.
You know what I mean? So, again, like I said, I mean, that play right there catapulted my career.
All right, now it did. I 100% agree. Now, you were noisy. You had a lot to say. You did a lot of, we all know about this Sharpie and all the things you'd like to do in the end zone, the popcorn and all those kinds of things. Do you think those antics so far have kept you out of the Hall of Fame?
Let me ask you a further question. Would you rather have somebody who's noisy, those things?
I don't vote.
I'm just asking you a question.
I'd rather have you.
Antics, or You have somebody on your team that does drugs, alcohol, domestic violence, all of those things.
But now you're going to two different extremes. That's a huge extreme.
That's why exactly, and those are some of the decisions that are being put in play as reason why I'm not into the Hall of Fame, because they characterize these things which you just mentioned as character issues.
Well, I mean, the old idea, that Terrell was a great receiver, but he was a detriment to his team. Fight that off for a second.
But how was I a detriment when I played, and I produced? How was that a detriment?
I know. Well, again, there's got to be people got to think this, because you'd be already in the Hall of Fame. So there's got to be something that has kept you out of the Hall of Fame so far. I'm just telling you, that's what it is.
Right, but it's a situation where you're having guys that have never played the game, and again, you're having people that assess the game from a fan perspective, their journalistic perspective, and they're. Guys like myself, and even after me, their body of work and everything that they put into the game, for personal reasons, obviously, and for their families, for organization, it's held in the hands at the fate of these guys' pens.
I know that's not going to change, though, Terrell. I mean,
it should change.
Well, it's not going to.
Well, I mean,
writers
say never.
No, it's not. Writers are going to vote for the baseball guys, and writers are going to vote for the football guys. That's the way it is. Well, I agree with you. You want to put a couple of NFL guys. That's not going to happen. This is a writers thing.
Right, but it's different in baseball. Some of these guys that are being held out in baseball, you think of Barry Bonds. These are for drug,
a couple of them
enhancing drugs,
which is correct.
Right, but that's totally different than me. For a guy that's been outspoken, like that's a bad thing. For a guy that have been said by certain individuals that they didn't like me or was a bad teammate. But what about the ones that have stood up for me and said that I was the polar opposite? That doesn't take into account?
Do you think in your day, especially with Dallas, in your days as a Cowboy, are there a few things as a teammate that you'd like to have back?
No. I could have probably communicated a little better, and I think that's across the board from management, coaches, and players. You can't just put the onus on one person. If we're a team and we're a family, then that's what we do. We bond, we communicate. That's what it's about. In a relationship, you're not going to like each other every day, but at the end of the day, you have to communicate. So I'm no different than anybody else.
So the idea that I'm going to use this word. Don't get mad at me.
Yeah,
The idea that Terrell Owens was a cancer, you think is completely unfair.
I'm going to beat you up.
You've heard that. I'm sure you've heard it.
Well, it's cool, but I again, like I said, there are guys that would stand on the table and defend me to the nth degree, and say that I'm the polar opposite. That's untrue. So again, the media has created this narrative that I was this way, but again, what about the guys that said that I wasn't?
Well, I mean, I think you're still going to make the Hall of Fame. So I think you're going to have a different tune, maybe whether it's Saturday, the following year.
Well,
whatever.
You know what? I think
you are going to make it eventually.
Well, the prerequisite.
So then you might have a different tune that day.
Like I just did an interview with Monty Toomer on Going Deep, and obviously I think the prerequisite for getting in, you got to have a criminal record. So if that's the case, I'm never going to get in.
I get it. You don't have to have a criminal record.
Which I can't tell.
No, you.
I can't tell.
You are going to make it. You are going to make it. You sound like you're a little bit annoyed right now.
No, I'm not annoyed. Look at the smile. Dude, this look like I'm annoyed.
I'd be annoyed. You got Hall of Fame numbers. You're a Hall of Fame receiver. You're not in the Hall of Fame yet.
I'm not disappointed. I feel disrespected. So
that makes you annoyed.
Not to the point that I'm just overly upset about it. Like, dude, it's not going to validate who I am as a person.
I didn't say it had to, but it's a nice reward.
Right, but the thing is when you talk about me as a person, character is what makes me and makes me who I am. So again, I'm not going to allow these guys that with these voting powers to really, vote me in or out and have that validate me.
Don't fight. You know what? Don't fight City Hall. You're not going to win that one. Let them vote. You're going to get in eventually. You're going to get in, and you're going to get in. You're going to feel, you know what a day.
I'm good. If
I had a vote, I get you in.
Yeah, I'm good. But what we got to talk about?
Pizza Hut. What am I doing? Jeez, I'm sorry. I didn't even see it here. My fault.
Forget about Pizza Hut.
I can't do that.
What's wrong with this guy?
No, I'm going to go. Hold on now. I've been doing this for 30 years. I missed that one. I apologize.
What?
Give me a little Pizza Hut. Far away from me. What do you have?
No, I'm just. I'm here on behalf of Pizza Hut, and with my involvement, I'm going to show you guys how and tell you guys how fast you can earn free pizza with Hut Rewards, and then. With that being said, they have something that if you break the record for the fastest TD, that they're going to give everybody with the HUT reward a free medium pizza. That's across the country.
Wow.
But it has to be faster than 14 seconds. If one of these teams score a touchdown faster than 14 seconds, but you got to have HUT rewards.
What does that mean for? So a touchdown has to be recorded within 14 seconds of the snap of the ball?
Yep.
And if that's the case,
or punt return or anything like that, it has to be faster than 14 seconds.
Is that doable? I don't even know. What's the average touchdown? How long does it usually take?
Devin Hester is the one that has the record.
Oh, so it has to be a kickoff return necessarily or a punt return?
Or a play. It has to be a play.
For 14 seconds.
Yeah, not for the entirety of the game, though.
14 seconds.
14 seconds.
And you get a free pizza if you do medium pizza.
Yep, free medium pizza, but you got to have HUT rewards, though. So, again, this is what I'm doing. I'm showing you how fast you can earn free pizza.
So you have to have a HUT reward member to be eligible for this prize.
Absolutely.
So 2 million pizzas on Sunday afternoon.
Absolutely.
You'll make the Hall of Fame. Just relax. Take it easy. Take a deep breath. Nice sigh of relief. Thank God. And if you do make it this week, thank the writers.
No, I'm going to thank Pizza Hut.
No, you could do that too, but thank the writers.
I'm going to thank Pizza Hut.
I'll see you later. Terrell Owens, good to have him with us. We talk to Dan Marino next. Come on back.
Mad Dog Unleashed.